Yeah, one, one, one. Hmm. 12 hours ago, I was drawing water to take a bath, and I was thinking of actually doing this video at 4:44 p.m. yesterday afternoon. My water went out. I mean, my well stopped working. I have no water in my house till tomorrow, hopefully. They'll be able to remedy this situation. But in any case, it's been a day of pondering. The subject or the title for today's video: who can tell anyone else how to be? I dreamt I won the lottery during a short nap yesterday. I'll share the details, yet what I really want to focus on is the process of introspection that followed it. Yes, there were many thoughts and feelings going on with me, and I remembered what my values are, based on several experiences throughout my life. The will of God for me, I was told in another dream, was to respond to whatever is in front of me. Also, I have always valued integrity, which I have come to see as telling my truth and honoring all of me. Love has also been a key component, again, loving all my parts. That love extends to include others on their paths, recognizing that each has his or her own role to play. I don't have to understand their role, simply to honor them. If I had to choose one word to sum it up, it would be inclusion. These are my core values. If I am true to these values, how can I think I know where someone else is supposed to be in their life, or what they are supposed to be doing? Let me start with the dream. I won the lottery. I had bought 3 tickets, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a weekend, different numbers. And the Friday ticket won, all 6 numbers. And I'm sitting at a square table in the dream, and 2 gentlemen, I believe they were gentlemen, are to my left. And across the table from me are a lady in the middle. She's verifying the tickets and paying out the winnings. And she paid out for the two people that were sitting to my left. And I read my numbers out, and she needed to leave the room, so she left. And I'm wondering, when are they going to pay me? And the other lady that was sitting to the previous lady's left, she said, well, maybe I can help you. Bring me your ticket. And I got up and I walked around the table, and I laid a ticket down, and she looked at it and she says, these aren't the numbers. And I looked, and sure enough, they weren't. And I went back to see if I had left it laying on the table where I had been sitting, but it wasn't there. And then I looked, and I only had 2 tickets. I had the Saturday ticket and the Sunday ticket. The Friday ticket had disappeared. Interesting. When I talked about that dream with my friend from Canada, I said it's the way it often has been in my life. I almost get what I want, and it disappears. It's like all of my life I've had a carrot dangled in front of me, and I almost get to the carrot, almost, but then I don't. And yes, it's frustrating. Yes, sometimes I've been very angry at God. Yes, it hurts. It hurts a lot to have dreams, to have a vision of what you want, and not quite be able to reach the fulfillment of that vision. That which would bring a sense of fulfillment is the right word. And from fulfillment, of course, would come peace, and would come satisfaction, and all of the other positive emotions would automatically flow, because fulfillment produces positive emotions. Unfulfillment produces negative emotions. Now, why am I saying all of this? Well, as I pondered throughout the day yesterday, including the losing of my water, I realized I bless everything in my house. I bless all of the appliances. I bless the plumbing. I bless the things that I can see. I even bless the water in the ground. I don't remember ever blessing the well, because I thought wells lasted forever. Maybe they don't. I knew they went dry. I remember my aunt and uncle when I was a boy, their well went dry in Pennsylvania because we were in a semi-drought that summer, and they weren't getting enough water, and their well went dry. I knew that experience. I didn't know the experience of a well collapsing, and that I don't know if that's what happened. They said it could be a deterioration of one of the components on the wellhead that allows air to get into it, and once air gets in, the water stops being pumped. And it's funny because I had water yesterday morning, water pressure, and then when I went to draw the bath, and I was actually doing a load of clothes at the same time, the water pressure was greatly diminished, and finally when I was drawing the rinse water in the washing machine after taking my bath, it was almost full to the large capacity, and the water just totally stopped, and it was like blowing air and trying to pump. And I went and I unplugged the pump and called the water softening company that had installed the water softener, thinking that it was something to do with that. But he said, no, you don't have any water at all. You're getting air out of your well, and you probably need a new well or a component. Anyway, they're going to check that tomorrow. But I had never blessed my well. I don't remember ever mentioning my well in blessing all of the components in my house. I had left that part out. Interesting. But it was a day of introspection. Introspection regarding people telling me where I'm supposed to be, that I'm supposed to be focused on positive things. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm focused on what the feelings are, what the thoughts are, what the things are in my life. That's what I'm focused on. And I don't believe any of it's an illusion. All of it is an experience. Maybe all experiences are illusion. That is, you can say that all physicality is mostly empty space. There's scientific evidence to support that idea. But it certainly is not how we experience physical reality. And for a long time, my vision has been peace on earth. Now, when I was a fundamentalist Christian, peace on earth meant separation from that which is wicked and evil and bad. It meant that, that the good wins, that the righteous inherit the earth, that God's people are finally vindicated in the great battle of the ages. Yeah. That was my fundamentalist idea of what it meant to have peace on earth. But as I became an inclusionist, anything that reeked of separation for me, anything that left somebody behind, became anathema, became something that just didn't resonate anymore. How could I leave anything behind and say that I was loving? How could I think that I was superior to another being, that I was more advanced and more awake than somebody else, and think that I was loving? Oh, don't get me wrong. I've judged a lot of people, and I've judged myself very harshly at times for not living up to my own standards of perfection. Yeah, I've fallen short again and again and again throughout my life. I've fallen short and not measured up to my own standard that I held up so high. And recently, as I did an interview or a conversation with a man that I've admired. I haven't always agreed, but I've admired him. And then he responded not in a kind way to me. I mean, I felt like he was coming across as being superior and telling me how I was supposed to be, and that he had arrived and I hadn't yet arrived yet I needed to get out of my head and into my heart. Well, I've lived in my heart for a long time, but I honor my head. Get out of your ego, Ron. Well, I honor my ego. I don't consider any part of me bad. I don't consider my sexuality bad, even though there's still shame and guilt sometimes attached to things because of residue from my past. Nevertheless, I have made honest efforts to embrace all of me. And the more I've been able to succeed in embracing all of me and living in integrity to who I am and what I am, as I've been able to do that, I've been able to be much more, at least tolerant, if not loving, toward others. Even the Illuminati, even those that play dark roles, even those that are self-righteous and think that they're more advanced than other people. Yes, I see that as self-righteousness. That's not one of the qualities that I admire. But the reason I can see it is because it's been part of my life too. I've been there. I've seen that self-righteousness rise up and think, I know better than you. I know what you're supposed to be doing. I know how you're supposed to be. I know that you just don't get it yet, but I do. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware that I'm more advanced than you are. I reflected on these attitudes today as other people play them back to me. And I think, man, I mean, if I tell the truth, are people going to just stop listening to my videos? Are they going to think that I'm somehow not spiritual? Well, let me tell you something. Sometimes I don't think I am spiritual. Sometimes I don't even think I know what spiritual even means, and what it's about. Because I've chosen not to be spiritual, but to be real, to tell the truth, to bare my soul, to open my heart, and to love. And I've often made the statement that I cannot be free until everybody is free. Some people don't get that. But I see myself as connected to the collective, connected to all of humanity. And as Jesus left the 99 sheep that were safe in the fold and went looking for the one that had been lost, because he cared, and he wanted them all to come home. All of the sheep. The Good Shepherd wanted all of the sheep to come home. And then I thought of Robin Williams in What Dreams May Come, who chose to stay in hell with his beloved because he loved her. Because love doesn't want anybody to be lost, doesn't want anybody to be separated from the fold, doesn't want anybody to be rejected and excluded from life and from love, from laughter and from the light of truth that is shining ever more brightly as we are on our way home. I leave you these thoughts today, the 7th of June, 2013. And I ask you this question, not the question I began with, who can tell anyone else how to be, but this question: what are your values? Are you living up to your own values? Follow your heart. Trust your gut. Listen. Listen. What does your soul say to you? That's all for today. Namaste.